In the golden age of Greek mythology, when the Olympian gods reigned supreme over the mortal world, there existed a kingdom nestled beneath the watchful gaze of Mount Sipylus. This kingdom, blessed with natural beauty and abundant resources, was ruled by a man whose name would echo through the annals of time, Tantalus. His story is one of divine favor, mortal ambition, and ultimate downfall, a tale so profound that it gave rise to the word tantalize in the English language. The legend of Tantalus is not merely a myth. It is a cautionary tale about the dangers of hubris, the consequences of defying the gods, and the inescapable nature of fate. The divine origins of Tantalus. Tantalus was no ordinary mortal. His origins were as divine as they come, born from the union of Zeus, the ruler of the heavens, and Pluto, a nymph of extraordinary beauty. Pluto's grace and charm were said to rival even the most enchanting goddesses, and her connection to the divine realm was a testament to the extraordinary destiny of her offspring. From the moment of his birth, Tantalus was marked by divine favor. Zeus, ever the watchful father, saw in his son a potential that transcended mortal boundaries. To honor this potential, Zeus bestowed upon Tantalus a kingdom to rule, a majestic domain nestled within the awe-inspiring embrace of Mount Sipylus. The kingdom of Sipylus was a land of unparalleled beauty. Its snow-capped peaks, lush valleys, and crystal-clear streams were touched by the hand of the gods. It was a realm worthy of a favored son, a place where mortals and nature coexisted in harmony. Tantalus, as its ruler, was entrusted with the well-being of his people and the preservation of the divine order. Yet, despite his divine lineage and the blessings he had received, Tantalus was not content. His heart yearned for more power, more recognition, and ultimately, more than what the gods had granted him. Tantalus's life took a momentous turn when he decided to take a queen. His choice was no ordinary one. In an act that further intertwined his fate with the divine, Tantalus wed Dione, a woman whose lineage traced back to the formidable Titan Atlas. Dione's presence in the royal court was not merely a marriage of convenience. It was a union that brought celestial bloodlines into the heart of Tantalus's kingdom. Together, they would have 3 children, Niobe, Pelops, and Proteus. Niobe, the eldest daughter, was renowned for her beauty, which rivaled that of the goddesses themselves. Yet her pride would become her undoing. Pelops, the second child, was destined to ascend to his father's throne, but his path would be fraught with treachery and tragedy. Proteus, the youngest and least known, would meet a fate marked by the fiery wrath of a vengeful goddess. Each of Tantalus's children carried a piece of their father's legacy, and their lives would become entangled in the capricious and often cruel nature of the gods. As a favored son of Zeus, Tantalus often found himself in the esteemed company of the gods. His presence graced the banquets of Olympus, where divine ambrosia and nectar flowed freely, and celestial conversations filled the air. These gatherings were a privilege reserved for the most honored of mortals, yet Tantalus failed to recognize the magnitude of his fortune. Instead, he allowed his mortal curiosity to lead him astray. Intoxicated by his proximity to the divine, Tantalus began to whisper tales of the gods' conversations to his mortal subjects. Secrets and gossip flowed from his lips like the wine that flowed at those mythical gatherings, casting shadows of mistrust among the gods. This act of betrayal was not merely a breach of trust, it was an affront to the divine order. The gods, who had once favored Tantalus, began to view him with suspicion. But Tantalus's misdeeds did not end with gossip. His audacious desire for immortality led him down a treacherous path. He sought to pilfer the ambrosia and nectar of the gods, substances believed to grant eternal life. In a reckless attempt to elevate himself to their divine ranks, Tantalus committed an act of theft that would forever tarnish his reputation. Tantalus's transgressions extended beyond theft and betrayal. He stood accused of stealing a golden dog, a masterwork crafted by Hephaestus, the divine blacksmith. The heavens themselves watched as the favored son of Zeus sank deeper into the abyss of transgression. Yet it was Tantalus's most heinous act that would cast an enduring shadow over his name. In a twisted bid for amusement or power, Tantalus extended an invitation to the very gods who had once favored him. He hosted a banquet within his own kingdom, a gathering that would etch his name into the annals of infamy. For reasons known only to him, Tantalus chose to play a dark trick on the gods that night, a trick that would stain the pages of mythology with the blackest of deeds. The banquet began as a grand celebration, with the gods seated at Tantalus's table, enjoying the finest delicacies his kingdom had to offer. Yet, beneath the surface of this seemingly joyous occasion, a sinister plot was unfolding. In a horrifying twist of fate, Tantalus committed an act that would forever haunt the Olympians. He murdered his own son, Pelops, in cold blood. The lifeless body of Pelops was dismembered, its flesh sliced and cooked to a macabre perfection. The unsuspecting deities were then served this grotesque feast, a cruel mockery of the hospitality they had come to expect. Most of the gods quickly discerned the true nature of the banquet, their divine instincts alert to the unholy act unfolding before them. However, in a cruel twist of fate, Demeter, the goddess of agriculture and fertility, was momentarily distracted by the absence of her beloved daughter, Persephone. Consumed by grief and worry, Demeter took a bite of the horrific meal. Zeus, the ruler of the gods, recoiled in anger at the audacious betrayal of trust. He summoned the Moirai, the Fates, to rectify the heinous feast. The Moirai, in their solemn duty, recooked the meal in a mystical cauldron, reconstructing the dismembered body of Pelops with divine precision. Yet as they toiled to undo the nightmarish banquet, a chilling discovery emerged. The shoulder of Pelops remained incomplete, for Demeter had unwittingly consumed a portion of it. To amend this grievous imperfection, Demeter enlisted the skills of Hephaestus, the god of blacksmiths and craftsmanship. With the lustrous medium of ivory, Hephaestus sculpted a replacement shoulder for Pelops, forever marking the prince's body as a testament to the horrors of that night. The gods, their patience worn thin, did not hesitate to deliver judgment. Tantalus was forcibly removed from his throne, his rule over Sipylus abruptly terminated. In his stead, Pelops, the resurrected son, ascended to claim his father's seat. But Zeus, the arbiter of justice, was not content with mere mortal punishments. He had a more profound sentence in mind, one that would etch the name of Tantalus into the darkest corners of the Greek underworld. Tantalus's crimes of infanticide and cannibalism were among the most heinous imaginable in the eyes of the ancient Greeks. Thus, it was fitting that his punishment be nothing less than eternal and agonizing. The curse of Tantalus unfolded in the nightmarish depths of Tartarus, a place where the boundaries between life and death blurred into a perpetual abyss. It was a punishment witnessed by none other than the cunning and resourceful hero Odysseus, during his harrowing descent into the realm of Hades. In the heart of Tartarus, Tantalus stood submerged in a lake, its waters as crystal clear as the purest of springs. Yet this was no ordinary lake. It was a mirage, a tantalizing illusion that concealed the true nature of his suffering. Tantalus's thirst, a thirst that no mortal could ever comprehend, gnawed at his parched throat like fire. The waters around him beckoned with a siren's call, promising relief from his insatiable need. Yet, as he reached down to cup the cool liquid in his trembling hands, the surface of the lake receded, taunting him with its elusive retreat. The very act of drinking was forever denied to him, a cruel mockery of his eternal thirst. Above him, tormentingly close, yet forever out of reach, stretched an orchard of trees. These trees bore fruits of unparalleled sweetness and succulence, each one a tantalizing masterpiece of nature's bounty. The vibrant colors and mouth-watering aroma of the fruits teased his senses, their allure an unrelenting assault on his starved senses. Driven by hunger, Tantalus would extend his trembling arms towards the fruits, fingertips straining to pluck even a single morsel from the branches. And as he did, a sinister wind, as if conjured by the malevolence of the gods, would sweep through the orchard. The branches would sway, and the fruits would dance just out of his grasp, a dance of eternal frustration. But it was not only thirst and hunger that haunted Tantalus in this nightmarish realm. Above him, suspended like a relentless guillotine, balanced a colossal stone, poised to descend upon him at any moment. Its presence, an ever-present menace, weighed heavily on his already tortured soul. The fear of that stone falling and crushing him was a torment of its own, a perpetual source of dread. The curse of Tantalus did not confine itself to the fallen king alone. It seeped into the very roots of his family tree, entangling his descendants in a web of tragedy and retribution. The house of Tantalus, once bathed in divine favor, would become synonymous with doom and suffering. Niobe, Tantalus's ill-fated daughter, unleashed her own tragedy through reckless pride. She dared to boast that she was a superior mother to the goddess Leto, a brazen challenge that invoked the wrath of Apollo and Artemis. These divine siblings descended upon Niobe's household, mercilessly slaying her 14 children and turning her into a weeping stone, a monument to her prideful arrogance. Pelops, the surviving son of Tantalus, emerged from the shadows of his father's transgressions to claim the throne of Sipylus. His ascent was marked by treacherous deeds that deepened the curse clinging to his family. Pelops's ambition led him to the fertile region of the Peloponnese, where he orchestrated the murder of King Oenomaus to secure his claim to the throne. This act of treachery set the stage for a cycle of betrayal and revenge that would plague his descendants for generations. The Curse of Tantalus continued its inexorable march through the house of Tantalus, culminating in the tragic tale of Atreus and Thyestes, the sons of Pelops. Their bitter rivalry, fueled by jealousy and ambition, led to a cycle of treachery and revenge that shook the very foundations of the Peloponnesian kingdom. Atreus, driven by a desire for power, murdered Thyestes' sons and served them to their father in a grotesque feast, a chilling echo of Tantalus's own crime. Thyestes, consumed by grief and rage, sought vengeance, plunging the family deeper into the abyss of despair. The curse, unwavering in its pursuit of suffering, continued through the generations, claiming the lives of Agamemnon and Menelaus, the great-grandsons of Tantalus. Yet, amidst the darkness, a glimmer of hope emerged. Orestes, the son of Agamemnon, sought to break the cycle of retribution. With the guidance of Athena, he stood trial before the Erinyes, the avenging Furies, and convinced them to spare his life. In this moment of catharsis, the curse of Tantalus was finally broken, though the scars of the past would forever linger in the annals of Greek mythology. The tale of Tantalus serves as a testament to the enduring power of myth. It is a story that continues to captivate and haunt the imaginations of those who dare to explore the depths of Greek mythology. The house of Tantalus, once bathed in the favor of the gods, became a symbol of the consequences of hubris, betrayal, and the relentless pursuit of power. As the mists of time shroud the tales of ancient Greece, the legend of Tantalus endures as a cautionary tale, a stark reminder that even the mightiest of mortals are not immune to the wrath of the gods. The Curse of Tantalus is not merely a myth, it is a reflection of the human condition, a story that resonates across the ages, reminding us of the dangers of ambition, the cost of betrayal, and the inescapable nature of fate.